Hey guys, Simon here from Top Tennis Training, and in this video I'm going to help you hit the perfect kick serve in 3 simple steps. So step number 1 is having the correct grip, and this is the continental grip, or even slightly further round to almost an Eastern backhand grip. So if you're a single-handed backhand player, you'll know that the Eastern backhand grip is where the index knuckle is on that top bevel. So you wouldn't go as far as the extreme Eastern backhand grip, but you want to be somewhere between the Eastern backhand grip and the continental grip. And this will allow for the proper mechanics to happen above your head, which will allow you to hit the kick serve. If you don't have this grip, if I had a forehand grip for instance, and I tried to hit a kick serve, and that same motion that I need, the brushing motion and going from the bottom left side of the ball up to the top right side of the ball, if I'm a right-handed player, I couldn't do that with a forehand grip. So if I was trying to do that with a forehand grip, my strings would be really open up to the sky when I made contact, and the ball would just fly off. So I need that continental grip to allow for the supination to happen prior to contact, but also to allow the pronation to happen after contact, which is crucial on getting this good kick serve. So step number 1, having the correct grip, having that continental grip. This will allow for everything else to happen on that kick serve. Step number 2 is now the ball toss. So for a normal serve, I might throw the ball slightly in front of my head and slightly inside the court, so that I can actually go through the ball and hit a flatter serve if I'm going for a first serve, or a slice serve if I want to open up the court, especially on the deuce side. But on the second serve, on the kick serve, we want to throw the ball more to your left if you're a right-handed player. So on the baseline, we want to throw the ball more to our left and slightly behind our head, which will allow us to hit the ball from 8 o'clock if the ball was a clock. So imagine this ball is now a clock, so you've got the top 12 o'clock all the way to 6 o'clock. For a kick serve, if you're looking at the ball from this angle, you're trying to hit the ball from the bottom left hand side of the ball, which is around 7 or 8 o'clock, up to around 1 or 2 o'clock. Now the higher you want the ball to bounce, you're going to start a little bit lower, so you might start at 7 o'clock and go up to 1 o'clock, but you won't have that same twist on the ball, the same kick on the ball as if you go from 8 to 2 o'clock on the ball. So it's either 7 to 1 if you want a higher bounce and higher net clearance, or 8 to 2 o'clock if you want slightly lower but you want a more extreme kick on the bounce. So now I'm focused on the ball toss being more to my left so that I can hit the ball from 8 to 2 o'clock. Let's have a look. And I'm not going full power, I'm just trying to get that brushing motion from 8 to 2 o'clock on the ball. As you can see, it's nice and high after the bounce, even though this court isn't very much like a proper clay court or a hard court that would actually bounce a lot higher. And step number 3 to having the perfect kick is how you actually hit the ball. So we've spoken about the ball toss, going more to your left, but what about the actual mechanics of the body? So for a kick serve, you want to be sideways on when you finish the serve. When the ball's left your strings, you still want to be in that sideways on position. If I open up to the court, I'm going to hit either a flat serve or a slice serve. I need my shoulders to be sideways on to the net so that I can do that real shoulder over shoulder motion. So the shoulder over shoulder is almost like a seesaw action. If you've ever taken your kids to the play park and you're on the seesaw where one child is on one side and the other child is on the other side, and one goes up, one goes down, one goes up, one goes down, that's the same motion you want to have, especially on the kick serve, but on all serves. You want to feel that the right shoulder is dropping when you get to around the trophy position, and then when you're making contact, this left shoulder is now coming down and the right shoulder is going up. And that's the motion we want to have on the kick serve. The more we can do that motion on the kick serve, the better we can hit that kick serve. If we don't have that shoulder over shoulder, we'll lack the real power and the real spin. So it's that right shoulder dropping in the trophy position here and then you're having the racket drop, you're having the racket traveling up to contact, that's when the left shoulder starts to come down and the right shoulder starts to go up to the ball. What I like to tell my students is almost imagine you're hitting the ball with your right shoulder, and this will really force you to go from low with the right shoulder to high, and then staying sideways on is also the other big crucial factor that will help you hit that great kick serve. So now it's all about step number 3, which is me staying sideways on to the net for as long as I can and working on that shoulder over shoulder action. So I'm not opening up, I'm not going from here forwards with my body, I'm staying sideways on, and I'm allowing my racket to go from the left side of my body to the right side of my body. So on a normal serve you're hitting more through the ball. So my racket path would be from here this way, going towards my desired target. On the kick serve, it's traveling more in line with the baseline. So from left, from this way, up, contact, and then that way. And the more I can do that motion from left to right quickly, the more aggressive the kick will be after the bounce. So let's have a look. And the faster I can do that shoulder over shoulder, the more power it's going to give me and the more pop I'm going to get off that bounce. Now, a very simple trick that you can use to help yourself stay sideways on longer and actually get more of a shorter bounce in the service box, more of an acute angle in that box, is by doing something that Federer likes to do, and that's change the position of his feet. Federer obviously uses the platform stance so his feet don't come together as in the pinpoint, so he keeps his feet apart, similar with Novak Djokovic and also players like Pete Sampras. And what he does when he's in that platform stance, he might change the position of the back foot or the front foot depending on the serve he's hitting. So Federer starts off like this on the front foot. As he comes here, this back foot can move, so he can be moving this back foot at will depending on the serve he's going to go. If he's going to go more for a tee serve, he might end up moving it more in line so that he can really open up prior to contact. If he's going for more of a kick serve, this back foot might end up going further back. Or another trick that he does, he actually starts on the front foot, he comes back, and then this front foot lifts off the ground and he can change position with that front foot as well. So he changes the position of the front foot, which then changes the position of the upper body. So if I wanted more a flat serve down the tee, I might end up with my feet like this, from here in line, then I can go down the tee quite comfortably. If I want more of a kick serve, I can then do the same setup, but as I'm in this position here, this back foot now moves slightly more to the left side of the court, which allows me to stay a lot more sideways on and turn my back to the net much more. So I'm changing the foot position here for the kick serve. So that change of the foot position is going to allow me to hit the shorter angle, or if I want to go down the tee, I can hit a little bit more in line with the feet. So there you have it, guys, 3 steps to hitting the perfect kick serve. So step number 1, once again, the grip. Step number 2, the ball toss. And step number 3, hitting the ball from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock while staying sideways on with your shoulders and having that shoulder over shoulder motion, but also playing around with the feet position and the foot position, especially this back foot, playing around with how far you can bring it round, especially if you use a platform stance. Now if you use a pinpoint stance, you can still play around with the foot position. So if I'm using a pinpoint and I'm in this position here for a normal serve, for a kick serve I might try and turn my feet slightly further around so that I end up with my back turned more to the court, which will allow me to hit that real extreme kick and be sideways on when I hit it. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below as well. Which part of your game do you struggle with the most? If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon, guys. All the best.